Richard and Sabrina's meeting with Douglas gave them a few more clues as to what was going on with their chakra connection. Douglas explained to them that it could be a sign that one or both of them had to release an energy that was no longer serving them, whatever the heck that meant. He explained that sometimes there is an old habit that is still holding on, and when they are willing to release that habit and go into the unknown, that is when they'll see the most progress. I think it's significant that you two were lions, Douglas mentioned. When seeing a lion during meditation, it can mean one is stepping into courage and emotional strength. It is a sign to not go into situations recklessly. It also means you use your heart rather than logic to make the most aligned decisions. Have you ever been confused by something so much that you couldn't move forward? Well, with all of the portals and moon cycles and Mercury in retrograde, I could see where that would be confusing. It almost seems like the interwebs are full of that kind of information. So I'm going to break it down for you. My mission is to demystify all of this stuff for the spiritually curious. I've been teaching spiritual concepts to everyday Janes for years, but it wasn't until I put it all in a novel that I had a framework to bring your fantasy into reality. A quick intro if we have not been introduced. I am S.A. Reinhardt, the author of Mystical Love. My friends and students call me Sarah. I've been teaching women Reiki, crystal Reiki, and meditation for self-healing and certifying them to help heal others if they so choose. If you feel like you're sensitive to energy and curious about what that all means, I'm totally your gal. Last week, in the crystal cleansing video, I let slip that I would talk about moon cycles. But with the chaos and the heaviness and the tiredness that everyone seems to be experiencing lately, put your hand up if you feel super tired or ultra exhausted these days. Like, it's got to be something in the air, right? We're going to talk all about moon cycles and Mercury in retrograde and Lionsgate, right? Now, at the time of this recording, it is the open portal of Lionsgate, but we're going to get to that later. First, we'll start with the moon cycles. So roughly every 2 weeks, we rotate between a new moon and a full moon. On August 4th, that was our last new moon. And sometimes it's called the dark moon, when the earth is fully blocking the sun and you don't see the reflection of the moon. That's the new moon. It's also considered a time for manifesting what you want. Yasmin Bolin calls it making new moon wishes. And I really like that because it's super cute. So the time between the new moon and the full moon is called the waxing phase. This is when you want to stay open to seeing opportunities that will help you manifest what you wished upon a moon for. And so when we do this, we're opening up the part of our brain, the reticular activating system, to see opportunities and not pay so much attention to the things we can't do. This is really important during this time. Now, August 19th is the full moon, and this is a time of reflection and release. It's good to put those crystals out if you want to cleanse them, and it also helps us see things that we may have not seen before. So if you don't remember when the full moon is, that's not a problem. People can put it in their calendar, yes, and have reminders and all those things. But even though the moon is not as strong when it's completely full, during the waning cycle, which is full moon back to new moon again, you can still put those crystals out and release old thoughts and ideas that are holding you back. One thing to keep in mind with the full moon is sometimes people can't sleep very well during a full moon, or a couple days before and a couple days after, and they're starting to do new studies on that. So as far as sleep and the full moon cycles, which is really interesting. I don't have all the data on that yet, but just keep that in mind if you're having a hard time sleeping and it's near the full moon. Now, what about Mercury in retrograde, right? Everybody talks about, oh my gosh, Mercury in retrograde, all the technology is failing and nobody's talking to each other and we're communicating all wrong. Okay, first of all, we want to take a nice deep breath. Mercury is the planet of communication. Mercury going retrograde means that Basically, it's going this way forward, and then retrograde means it's going backwards within the viewpoint of planet Earth, right? It's not retrograde to all the planets, or it's not retrograde to the sun or whatever like that. This is specifically Earth-based. Like, it's backwards to the Earth the way that it normally does. And retrograde started August 5th, and it goes until August 28th. Now, if communication challenges have been an issue lately, Mercury can enhance those challenges, but the bottom line is to give yourself more space and grace and patience than usual. And please give those electronics more patience too. So starting brand new ideas during this time is cautioned against. However, this is fully a time for sitting back and reflecting on what's working, reflecting on what's not working. Journaling is a great thing to do during Mercury retrograde, because you can step back from everything and be like, oh, this is not working, this is working. This is particularly helpful if you own a business or a heart-led business, or if you're even trying to align with those goals that you feel like you haven't hit yet. This is a perfect time to do that. One more thing I do want to mention is, if you are a busy-brained or creative person and you typically have a bunch of new ideas, just make sure to triple check your work, dot your I's, and cross your T's. So patience, persistence, and the knowing that everything always works out for you helps. Now, if you're watching this video on the day that it released, which is Fridays, and it would be August 9th, we are one day past the fully open portal of Lionsgate. But that doesn't mean that it's too late to manifest abundance, because essentially everybody has all these things like Lionsgate, Lionsgate, Lionsgate. And I did a post on this on Facebook, because there is an astrological perspective, but also it's more of a collective perspective. If everybody believes that the gate is open on August 8th, which, by the way, most of us use the Gregorian calendar, and why not ride the wave of collective energy, right? That's awesome. In numerology, the number 8 signifies abundance, and since it falls on the 8th day of the 8th month, that is why they sometimes call it the 888 portal, or they will call it the 8-8 portal. But what's up with the whole lion part? We'll get to that in a minute. So as we heard from the reading from the beginning of this video, lions are a symbol of strength, courage, and heart. The bottom line is, if you want to use the collective energy of the Lionsgate belief to manifest abundance, make sure you're using your heart to make those decisions as to what you want to manifest. It's not just about the money. It could be abundance of love, abundance of support, abundance of joy, courage, or synchronicities that lead you to something amazing, right? So what will you do next? That's my thing. Are you going to play with the Lionsgate energy this time around, or are you just going to stick with reflecting and using Mercury? Are you going to do a combination or all three and use the moon, the Mercury, and the Lionsgate? Post it in the comments below. I would love to find out. And if you have any questions, post those as well. Awareness is the first step. So next week, we're going to tap into your chakras. Woo! We're going to give you practical tips to balance them for a more fulfilling life. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll be the first to know. Until next time, everybody, have a fabulous day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.